Gradually, we're wrapping up the year. Christmas is near. Happiness will be here. I can guarantee that, I promise you. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. It's going to be a very interesting day because we'll have conversations with... continued conversations with brand new MPs who have just gotten into Parliament, what the expectations are, what they look forward to. We'll give you some weather updates, sports in between, community voices, voice of the people. And then we'll have an extensive conversation also on our roads. Some comments have been made that the ministry thinks that they have to quickly respond to. We'll afford them the microphone to tell us their side of the story. And then we'll also get into some opportunity for you to connect with us. My name is Johnnie Hughes. I'm here with Helen Appiah-Ampofo. Good morning, Helen.
Good morning, Johnny. How are we doing?
Well, so and so. I'm surviving.
Have you fully recovered from your long stint?
No, I
on television.
I don't get to recover.
Oh my
before
goodness!
You know it, I'm back
You're
again.
back on the hot seat.
Ideally, I should be away for like 3 days or so.
Oh, I would recommend a full week.
We're back.
A full week, but it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I want to know what Ghanaians mean when they say "see your smoothness level."
More like I told you so.
Okay.
You know, I told you so moment. We told you that it's going to happen. Now you didn't believe it. Now you believe it.
I see. Honorable Appiah-Ampofo yesterday was asked by some reporters. He said, "Oh well, now they've all seen their smoothness level, so they can proceed."
In the local parlance, we say "ochia." Or baby akli.
Baby akli.
Yeah.
I see.
That's the Ghana version. Baby akli.
So he said yes. I mean, he was responding to the MPP's defeats. Of course, yesterday was the first time that the MPs had met together or had convened at the same place since the elections. Prior to that, of course, we know that there was some disagreement about where to sit, who is referred to as what. And yesterday it was interesting to hear the terminologies change. Yesterday, Honorable Appiah-Ampofo, whilst he did refer to himself as majority leader, at different points he says leader of government business, like we see in other jurisdictions. I think the tempo was a lot slower yesterday on the side of the NPP. The NDC did some teasing here and there, but Parliament was back.
Yes. You expect that kind of teasing to happen. I mean, I don't want to be in Kwame Appiah-Ampofo shoe as at this point, knowing that you were at one point the leader of government business, leader of the majority side, and in a few days you will be on the other side with an even smaller number than you have now.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in the shoes, honestly.
He says that the NPP minority side, when it comes to the 9th Parliament, will be keeping the government on its toes. So it looks like they are already...
They propose to do that?
Well, with the numbers that they have, the populace doesn't think that it's going to be a very effective role. But I mean, certainly they can do something. I don't see the likes of Appiah-Ampofo and others who have been retained, you know, even with that small number, not being as loud as they are now. It'll be a small but mighty team, trust me.
Well, Felicity Afiano has something for us, and she joins us now from the Ghana Meteorological Agency to tell us what the weather is going to look like. Felicity, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Johnny. I am better today than yesterday.
Great.
What about you?
Well, I'm getting better. You talk to me. What are we to expect? I see it's already, is it cloudy? Helen will say overcast. What is happening?
Yes, today we are having the drying of easterly winds over most portions of the country. So the Harmattan is in force over Ghana. For those of us over the coast, especially towards the west coast, part of Greater Accra into central western region, this morning we expect some misty conditions with some low clouds. By afternoon, we expect it to lift to few clouds in the sky, and then very sunny, very scorchy, hot over the coastal strip and likewise over the other parts of the country. In terms of visibilities, we expect it to be a bit blurry over the 16 regions. The north is likely to have the poorest. We are expecting it between 1 to 5 kilometers during the forecast period. Those in the transition into the forest belt, we expect it between 3 to 6 kilometers. And those of us along the coastal strip, we expect it between 4 to 7 kilometers. In terms of temperatures for the afternoon, we expect it around 34 for Greater Accra, 34, 36 for Kumasi, Eastern, and part of Oti into the Volta region. The upper east, upper west, and of East Savannah, we expect temperatures around 36 to 38 degrees Celsius. For the fisher folks, the state of the sea is calm, but then we expect some few clouds over the ocean, so they should be a bit mindful. If they want to navigate towards Gabon, a Libreville area, they need to be careful. We have thunderstorm clouds over those areas, but between Ghana, Benin, Togo, into Cote d'Ivoire waters, they can navigate peacefully. For Volta Lake, pretty cold for anything, but tonight to tomorrow morning, misty and foggy conditions are anticipated, so they also need to be careful in terms of visibility.
Great. Felicity, we're always grateful that you could join us with the updates. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you too.
Great. That's Felicity Appiah-Ampofo there, a weather woman, bringing us update morning by morning.
Felix cannot dance. Felix cannot dance. Felix cannot dance. But oh yeah, then run inside your beto. Felix cannot dance. Felix cannot dance. Felix cannot dance. But oh yeah, then run inside your beto. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. Afia to ye, get on the dance floor. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a...
At 6, I'm just checking our Facebook live stream. Thomas Doji Nyamishi Acoustic says, well, MPP leadership shouldn't maintain Appiah marking as the minority leader in the 9th Parliament, I'm sure. What do you say?
That's not fair to the man.
We're just discussing that. Look, I mean, the man will be majority leader now, and then, you know, in a few days
he comes back as minority leader
with an even smaller number. And
we've seen such transitions before.
Yeah, Bagbin,
Mensa Bonsu.
Right.
So it's happened to the greatest of them all. So I really don't think it to be fair to the Honorable Appiah Markin to place all the troubles that we have seen at his doorstep. Yes, he's the leader. He is supposed to accept and take the collective responsibility and all of that. But if you look at all the events leading up to the laws that we have, we entirely cannot blame it on him. Maybe where we would probably look at or question some of the moves that he's made, the decisions he's made, would be going to court. But even with that, some have argued that he shouldn't have gone to court with the issue about determining who is majority and who is minority.
Right.
And indeed, I have also said that, I've said that on air here, that he should, knowing him and how well he's able to deal with people,
right,
engage people,
right,
build consensus amongst people. The court shouldn't have been his immediate resource.
Right. He should have exhausted
all of the revenues. Charlie, I need
avenues.
Money. I need money.
It's okay. but I was happy yesterday when the Speaker of Parliament said, "Look, you are still my son." You know, for me, it struck a certain chord.
Yeah.
You know, that you are still my son. In spite of the fact that, you know, when that matter came up, you know, you had Appiah out there, you know, saying one or two. The Honorable K.T. Amon saying one or two. You had people on the side of the minority now, soon to become majority.
It was the Honorable K.T. Amon who surprised me the most.
Because you would look at him as the father figure
within the
on the side, right?
You see, and one would have expected that if for nothing at all, he would have at least taken that elder of the or landlord,
right,
landlordship.
I must have missed his submission. What?
He came off as being too personal
and
against the speaker,
literally saying that was citing for contempt
and all of that.
He brought back
attacking
not yesterday.
Oh, we're talking about
when it happened.
You recall the interview that the Honorable Jogate granted when the Supreme Court ruled in the favor of the majority.
The premises of the Supreme Court.
He was in the back there. He said, Bagwin has lost. Bagwin has lost.
And it was Jogate
tried to say,
no one has lost. Yeah. It's a win for democracy. In any case, we need to keep testing our constitution.
Right.
You see, in the interest of that, yes, we can applaud some of the decisions and actions that have been taken. But I have said, and I maintain that, look, it opens a certain door into Parliament. Allowing a certain level of interference by the other organs of government, which is not good for Parliament itself. And by the time you realize every decision of Parliament will be subjected to judicial review.
Right.
Growing up and studying history and social studies and government and all of those things from our beginnings up to the highest level, political science and all of that, we've always been told that Parliament is the master of its own rules.
That's correct.
And they've always played by that. They've always found a way to resolve all outstanding issues in the House, within the House.
Particularly when in recent time they've looked again at their standing orders, have to make certain adjustment to the standing orders to fix the current situation that they have. I mean, until recently, when we went to the 2020 polls, we didn't have a situation where we had equal numbers on both sides. So even the composition of the committees, who chairs what committee, ranking membership, etc., were all not things that were a matter of debate, because as soon as you come, you have an overwhelming majority, where
this
you sit.
This is what you are getting, exactly. And all of that.
Then we come into a parliament, in the 8th parliament, 137, one independent person who says, I'll do business with the side of government. Things quickly have to change. Equal numbers on the committee, which didn't used to be so 6, right? And then you had people, a lot of co-chairing happened in this particular instance,
That's right.
Because, I can't be subservient to you, so we have to be chairman in common, right? So the nuances in Parliament for this 8th Parliament changed a lot.
And even for some of the newer committees, I believe Honorable Egujotoa Blakwa is the committee chair for the Government Assurances Committee, which is quite an interesting.
That's right.
No, that has always been the case.
That has always been the case. So Public Accounts Committee.
So that the minority
a member of the minority chairs that. Just it's part of the checks and balances.
Right. That makes sense.
That is supposed to happen.
But so that the Government Assurances is similar to
the Public Accounts
Committee. That makes sense.
Yes. So the disappointment for a lot of us would be that the House as a whole failed woefully to bring that kind of check that we were expecting on the executive.
Right.
Because the moment we realized the totality of the House, the composition of the House, and we all saw that it was going to be very difficult for the majority, the NPP group, as described by the Speaker at the inauguration, to bulldoze its way through with certain bills and waivers and decisions and executive actions and all of those things. We're excited. We said that, look, for the first time in our political history within the fourth dispensation, we would have a parliament that would not just say here, but a parliament that would stand up to the executive and say that, look, this particular waiver that you are looking for this particular multinational will not stand, because you simply don't have the numbers to say let it pass through. But we seem to have seen that it did not live up to that expectation.
Absolutely.
It did not. Case. So on the majority side, yes, they have their own problems, which I don't blame the majority leader for. For instance, the dismissal or removal or vacation of seats by the 4 members. Of the 4 members by the Speaker.
Right.
It's not something that you can blame the Honorable Appiah-Ampofo for. party executives took decisions during their primaries, which angered a lot of the members of parliament. And some of them, out of that anger, said they were going to contest independent.
Right.
Appiah-Ampofo, for instance, thought that there was some machination from the seat of government against him. And he said that, look, I'm going independent.
Right.
So for such an incident, you cannot blame
him.
The leader of the side.
Not at all.
For that.
I mean, he's not blameable. But Pascal says that clearly now he knows who decides, who chooses, who's majority and who is minority in the House, and that's the Ghanaian people. So I'm sure he's saying that the Ghanaians
and not the courts.
They have actually decided that, okay, we don't want this confusion anymore. Going into the 9th Parliament, we want clarity on who sits where and who has what and who doesn't have what. But interesting for me, Helen, though, is the numbers of independent candidates that you see now in Parliament. If they decide to form a caucus.
In fact, I think they should.
So, like independent MPs caucus.
Yes, you have an MPP side, NDC side. They are independent.
I think they should.
They should have.
I think they should.
A caucus, so that they can have their pound of flesh, literally.
But realistically, given it's not even a simple majority that the NDC have, we call it a super majority.
Right.
They've crossed that 184 mark, past the simple majority post. Now they're a super majority. If I'm for independent MPs,
And
it's
you
not
think,
like
you think there will come a time that the NDC will need that vote.
They will need them. They will need them to do,
They will
to
need
do
them.
something.
but they have a super majority, don't
but
they?
you have it, but
no.
you need something to do
You
something.
definitely need them.
Really?
You will need them.
For when you have all the numbers?
Haven't your
Even
parliamentarians
the
fallen ill before?
Anyway.
Even the intra caucus fights. Very soon we'll be talking about their leadership.
That's right.
Electing their leadership.
And I'm sure lobbying is going on.
Lobbying is going on. Ato Forcing will want to be retained. Haruna Idrisu, no, I don't think Haruna Idrisu should come back.
I think Haruna Idrisu could make a sterling comeback. I mean, I think he's been missed.
I don't think.
I mean, because who else are you eyeing?
I think he has finished.
Yeah,
that race.
I think we should put him.
He should move on.
Move on.
You want,
something
or maybe
else.
speaker.
He could.
Is he ready for speaker? Is he ripe?
Well, he could possibly become speaker of
I
parliament.
think so.
I will still,
Maybe the youngest speaker ever.
I will still root for Bagbin for speaker.
I think
I
also,
will root
I
for
think
Bagbin
also
for
that,
speaker.
but for Speaker Bagbin, right, and his experience and longevity, we would have had a more chaotic situation in Parliament.
Oh yes.
Yes, of course.
If we hadn't gotten an experience, and we would have been in a big mess.
Which is the reason I'm saying that I will still root for him. There were very unpopular decisions he took. If you were a member of the NDC, or either at the party level or at the parliamentary level,
right,
there were some of his decisions that were very questionable. You would then ask yourself, you are supposed to be one of us, you are supposed to be for us. But
is he really? As a speaker, he's a referee. He's not supposed to be for anybody. I mean, the undertones.
politics
I mean,
of the
of course,
game.
the undertones of him being from the NDC would. I can imagine his people would think, "Hey, Charlie, we have an advantage, and politically, we must use that."
Right.
But I think he was trying to wear the speaker hat at all
exactly
times.
the point I'm making.
Should, for example, John Mahama's government, because they're going to form the next government. John Mahama's government with an overwhelming
Please
majority
don't
in
go.
Parliament.
Don't ask me what's it.
I'm just asking, should they consider also returning the favor that was done to them by Nanado?
Are you
Taking
joking?
Speaker Bagbin and say, let's say a Jogate, Ambassador DK, or say
it wasn't a favor
Papa
done.
Oswell
It wasn't a
Kumar.
favor done them. It was a vote, a hotly contested vote.
it
You
was
and
a
I
vote.
were there.
I mean, members of parliament have cause.
somebody
You think
choose.
Nanado wanted the Honorable Ask Bagbin to become speaker? No.
I think he wanted Speaker Okoye at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
and
now-
it was so obvious from the inauguration
the
booklets,
brochure, yeah.
the brochure that we saw.
Yeah.
Indeed, the image and details of Mike Okoye,
Was there
Professor,
already.
had been printed
yeah.
as a
So they had to
speaker.
stick it together.
They had to use a sticker to cover
and then put Bagbin's photo on it.
So it wasn't a favor. It wasn't a favor.
But would they inure to the benefit of Ghanaians if we had a speaker from the side of the NPP, being in charge, so that at least then the NDC with the overwhelming majority.
If you have somebody,
do not get carried away.
If you
by
have somebody with the character of Bagbin, yes.
Or
It
even
may-
on the other side,
Yes.
that would be the
a
personality.
Jogate will not cut it for you. And Ambassador DK say will not cut it for you.
Maybe DK or
Papa also will not cut it for you.
Yes, he too.
It's like making a
Joe
beautiful
Gatti,
cake with nice
I don't
icing.
really
When you finish,
know
you
him
throw
very
sand
well.
on it.
Oh,
You have a super majority here now to really do what you want.
This 8th Parliament has taught us that even the Speaker can be heckled.
so much to the point where he asked, "Do you know my number?
Do you know my number?
Do you know my number?"
So it would be if we have a person with the character of Speaker Bagbin
Right.
on the other side, yes, we may get what you are asking for. But if it's a partisan person,
Right.
true, somebody who speaks, eats, drinks, and sleeps MPP,
Right.
then the person becomes Speaker in this Parliament. No, Ghana will not be the
Okay.
beneficiary
Atibela
of it.
says, Atibela Charles Aduko says, "Good morning, Johnny." I'm sure to all the team as well. And Atoke Skyman says, "Johnny, please think right." Okay, yes, sir. I hear you. Nothing has become violent.
But yesterday, Finger Marking was teasing Speaker. He says, they'll sack you, your party will sack you. But I think yesterday he was going through the emotions, the waves
Should we
of
be
it.
considering another female speaker? I mean, the first female speaker we had was Joyce Bamford Ado, her ladyship. Should we be considering another female speaker?
From where I sit, I don't know. We are talking about experience, and even to match back when we're struggling on the male side, those who've
Right.
been there longer, I don't think we have any ladies ripe and ready. If we had retained my MP, Adwa Safo.
Let me wait.
If we had
I want
retained
Helen
my
will come
MP.
for me,
Yeah.
but
To do
Adwa
what?
Safo.
To do what?
Wait.
To do what? To do what?
No, I'm saying
Wait. To do what?
She's somebody
No,
I'm
answer
saying.
the
Had she
question. To do
retained.
Do what?
Oh, to keep on growing in Parliament.
Okay, so she would become speaker and grow
But I'm saying she's now, if we had retained her, she's
you don't
a
actually
lady.
need to be a member of Parliament to become
to be a speaker.
That's true,
Joyce
but-
Bamford Ado, her ladyship.
That is very
Speaker
true.
Hughes,
But
Hughes.
we're saying that the years of experience, they
Helen,
really
what
help.
are you trying to say?
Me, I was just saying for the
Your
women.
MP, no, what are you trying to say?
And yesterday she spoke up in Parliament,
no.
and she's one
And
of the
you were-
few ladies
and you
who
were
really
happy.
is vocal. I was happy.
so once she
I was
spoke, you
happy.
forgave her all her sins.
Transgressions.
I'm sure the MPP is thinking, had we retained Adwa Safo, we might have kept the Dom Pabenya seat.
Helen, you are not a member, card-bearing member of the MPP. When Adwa Safo left
No,
our
please.
constituency and came back,
Yes,
she only found it necessary to apologize to the party people and her party executive.
that's right.
She didn't
but
apologize to the other
She gave
constituents.
some goodies, some
That's not what I'm
sweet
talking about.
yogurts. I think
that's not what I'm
you
talking
can
about.
infer from that she was looking for forgiveness.
No, but that's not what I'm talking
No,
about. She
but-
made
but
a video
Johnny-
and apologized only to party
Johnny,
people.
back to the issue. We have a female vice president.
Right.
We have a female
Chief Justice, right.
Who knows if Dampare is removed?
Right. We may get
A female IGP.
IGP.
So if Dampare is removed and
In fact, there's a major
deputy
general. There's also a major general who is a female
I
in the
see.
army,
in the army,
possibly qualified to become
be CDS.
Right.
Nice one.
so Dampare, let's assume Dampare. I'm not saying you'll be removed. Let's assume that Dampare is removed, and the deputy IGP,
Yohonu, Christian Yohonu.
if the deputy IGP is propped up, that's a different matter.
Right.
If the deputy IGP is not propped up, and the deputy IGP is equally qualified, he's
Right,
done some sterling
right,
work
right.
that qualifies him to be IGP.
That's right.
I'm not sure about his age, but I'm sure that he
I suspect he's far advanced in age than
than
Dampare.
Dampare. So if he gets the nod, for instance, he could do 2 years or so
Right.
as IGP. Okay. So let's continue with the permutations.
Okay.
If he's not
Sounds
taken,
like the Blasters permission. Qualifying for AFCON.
I don't know within the ranks of the COPs whether the